Dear Sugar, the thought of staying in my marriage makes me feel panicky and claustrophobic. My wife and I have some things in common, but I don't feel like those are enough. I find myself fantasizing about dating other people. I'm afraid I will get more bored as time goes on. I'm also afraid that there is no one better out there for me and that I should be grateful for what I have. Dear Sugar, I want to leave my marriage, but I don't want to embarrass her. I'm terrified of hurting her. She has been so good to me and I consider her my best friend. I think I love her, but I'm not in love with her. Dear Sugar, I feel trapped and like I'm hiding the real me. I don't blame him for my discontent, but I never wanted to get married, and now I don't know how to stop this charade. I want out, but how? Signed, Afraid to leave. Signed, I can't do this. Signed, How can I hurt him? Dear all of us who want to please, there was nothing wrong with my first husband. He wasn't perfect, but he was pretty close. I met him a month after I turned 19, and I married him on a rash and romantic impulse a month before I turned 20. But there was in me an awful thing from almost the very beginning. A small, clear voice that would not, no matter what I did, would not stop saying, go. Go, even though you love him. Go, even though he's kind and faithful and dear to you. Go, even though he's your best friend and you're his. Go, even though your friends will be disappointed or surprised or pissed off or all three. Go, even though you once said you would stay. Go, even though you're afraid of being alone. Go, even though there is nowhere to go. Go, because you want to. Because wanting to leave is enough. Get a pen, write that last sentence on your palm, then read it over and over again until your tears have washed it away. When it came to my first marriage, I tried to be good. I tried to be bad. I was sad and scared and self-sacrificing and ultimately self-destructive. I finally cheated on my former husband because I didn't have the guts to tell him I wanted out. I loved him too much to make a clean break, so I botched the job and made it dirty instead. Divorcing him was the most excruciating decision I ever made. But I wasn't the only one whose life was better. He deserved the love of a woman who didn't have the word go. Whispering like a deranged ghost in her ear, we all know when we need to, want to, must go. I only ask, will you do it later or will you do it now? Signed, Sugar. Dear Sugar, 4 years ago, I was raped. Anger and panic became a deep part of my life and almost dragged me under. It took a long time, but I pulled myself up and onward. I feel it's behind me, and I am over it. Well, I have been dating a great guy for about 1.5 years. We have a healthy and positive relationship. Do I tell him about my sexual assault? Do I need to? We've been through some stuff, but I don't know if he's capable of hearing about this. I worry it might freak him out and affect our relationship. I need your advice. Signed, Whitell. Dear Whitell, I asked my friend, a talented painter, how she recovered from being sexually assaulted, how she resumed having healthy sexual relationships with men, how she continued to go on and be a talented painter and live a full life. She told me that we get to decide who we allow to influence us. She said I could allow myself to be influenced by a man who screwed me against my will, or I could allow myself to be influenced by Van Gogh. I'd choose Van Gogh. You can choose Van Gogh too. I salute you for making your way through your experience to this side of it. But you have a secret within you. Keeping this trauma from your boyfriend doesn't let him know what a warrior you are. We need to let the people who love us see what made us. Tell your boyfriend about your sexual assault, what happened, how you suffered, how you made your way through it, and how you feel about it now. Tell him. Otherwise, it creates the burden of a secret you are too wonderful to keep. Yours, Sugar. The Ordinary Miraculous. Dear Sugar, one of the general mysteries of life is that I don't know what something will turn out to be until I've lived through it. Will you give us an example of something you thought was one thing and then became another? Signed, Curious. Dear Curious, the summer I was 18, I was driving down a country road with my mother when we stopped at a yard sale. There was nothing much of interest at the sale, but a moment before I was about to suggest we leave, something caught my eye. A red velvet dress, trimmed with white lace, fit for a toddler. I was pretty certain at that moment that I would never be a mother myself. Children were fine, but ultimately annoying. I wanted more out of life, and yet, ridiculously, inexplicably, I wanted that red dress. Something about it called powerfully to me. My mother picked it up. You want this dress? For someday? But I'm not even going to have kids. You could put it in a box, then you'll have it, no matter what you decide. I don't have $1. I do. 3 years later, I'd be standing in a field not far from that yard sale, holding the ashes of my mother's body in my palms. My mother was gone. The red dress was still with me, packed into a cedar box that had belonged to her. I dragged it with me all the way along the scorching trail of my 20s and into my 30s, when I had 2 children, a son and then a daughter. The red dress was a secret only known by me, buried for years among my mother's best things. When I unearthed it and held it again like it was being slapped and kissed at the same time, like the volume was being turned way up and also way down. The 2 things that were true about his existence had an opposite effect and were yet the same single fact. My mother bought a dress for the granddaughter she'll never know. My mother bought a dress for the granddaughter she'll never know. How beautiful. How ugly. How little. How big. How painful. How sweet. It's seldom that we can draw a direct line between this and that. My desire to buy the dress was made meaningful only by my mother's death and my daughter's birth. The dress was the material evidence of my loss, but also of the way my mother's love had carried me forth beyond her. Her life extending years into my own in ways I never could have imagined in the moment the red dress caught my eye. And seeing my daughter on the second Christmas of her life wearing the dress the grandmother she'd never meet bought for her, returned something to me that I thought had been lost forever. We cannot possibly know what will manifest in our lives. We live and have experiences and leave people we love and get left by them. People we thought would be with us forever aren't, and people we didn't know would come into our lives do. Our work here is to keep faith with that, to put it in a box and wait, to trust that someday we will know what it means, so that when the ordinary miraculous is revealed to us, we will be there, standing before the baby girl in the pretty dress, grateful for the smallest things. Yours, Sugar.